All right, welcome back, everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back, and it is time for another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 replay cast. In the bottom right-hand side of the map, we have got Kelazhur. And in the top left-hand side of the map, playing for Team Ting, it's Neeb. Going under the ID Neeblet, which is kind of his official ID. He flips back and forth, it seems, but for the most part goes by Neeblet officially, but everyone calls him Neeb. The map is Nightshade, and Kelazhur, a strong Terran, and he's kind of a relentless Terran, because everyone expected Kelazhur, or I at least expected Kelazhur, really to fall off when he said he was going to school, when he was going to be moving to the Netherlands and retiring probably. But no, he kept playing, and he keeps posting pretty good results in tournaments. Maybe not quite the level that he once was, but still beating notable players at times. So I thought, all right, wow, I'll cast Neeb versus Kelazhur and see how the match goes. Kelazhur, interestingly enough, on the clan ARG. I'm sure that stands for something, but I just love how the clan tag is ARG. Or argue. Argue. Oh my gosh, it's so smart. RGGU? I don't know. Anyway, so this TvP should be a fun one to watch. I haven't watched a TvP in what feels like too long. Really, any amount of time is too long, though, so we're going to see Kelazhur's SCVs angrily stabbing that probe with their drills. Just saying, get out of here, guy. I want to build my command center. And then the Marine comes out and just snipes off that probe. Neeb, of course, was pulling that probe out in time for the Reaper not to kill it, but the Marine was out in time to pick it off. So that's a nice catch for the Terran. Sometimes Terran will be able to get the probe, depending on the positioning, by building the Marine. Sometimes they won't, but Kelazhur getting it is nice for him, obviously. SCV for Kelazhur seems to be taking the long way home. I'm not sure what this is about. Oh, do we have a cheeky SCV? What is this guy up to right now? The SCV hiding in the bottom left-hand side of the map. Gonna be maybe throwing down a proxy? Is it gonna be an armory? Are we gonna be seeing drilling clawed widow mines? In order to try and throw Neeb off, we see a bunker on the way up at the front for Kelazhur. That's normal. He's forgoing the Reaper, so he has extra gas. And I think that this honestly has got, like, it should be for an armory. There we go. It's going to be a fast widow mine play from Kelazhur. The patch hasn't even hit yet, and we're seeing fast widow mine claw drops happen. And so it's going to be interesting when the patch does hit, because that's basically going to make it so that drilling claw drops are much, or just drops in general are much better, because as soon as the armory's done, the widow mines will have that forever cloak. So maybe it'll open up a timing for, say, a drop to move in sooner. Yeah, maybe it'll open up a timing for the drops to move in sooner, then continue on with the drilling claws, or maybe Terrans will just start going for fast widow mine drops and forgoing the drilling claws. But oh, interestingly enough, from Kelazhur, we have got one Hellion on the way, then he starts up the drilling claws. So it absolutely is a drilling claws play. Just the one Hellion, I guess, to get out on the map, seeing as how Kelazhur skipped the Reaper. The Marine also moving out towards where the third base of Neeb will be. Hellion, I think, flies past that Oracle. That's a good scout for Kelazhur. He's going to be able to start producing widow mines, trying to get in position to shut down such an Oracle. Hellion spots the gateway, spots the Adept. Kelazhur is going to be on alert, but oh, look at this. This Hellion giving Neeb a bit of a runaround. Neeb's Oracle trying to pursue and catch the Hellion. Looks like it will get it. The Adepts, though, shaded out. They run right by this Marine, but I don't believe they see each other. Neeb, maybe he saw that. I don't know, but I guess not. Anyway, the widow mine drop for Kelazhur is going to be en route relatively soon. Oracle getting shooed away by those Marines. More and more widow mines on the way. Of course, Kelazhur going to make as many as he can since he's getting those good upgrades. But Neeb, all with a sick revelation, just barely tags. Well, he tagged those Marines, but then he tagged the add-on just barely, and it's tough to see from Neeb's vision, but he can see that wiggling and jiggling. I didn't even know that that was something that could really happen. Never thought about that, a revelation actually getting the scout off. So that's quite notable, I'll say. Kelazhur, of course, does finish the drilling claws, though. He's going to be floating the factory, probably swapping it with the barracks, if I had to say so, because he's going to want the reactor mine production, as that's usually the follow-up to this build. Neeb now is going to be making a Phoenix because he knows that drops are going to be coming his way, so he's going to have 4 Phoenix in all to try and shut down these cheeky Widow Mine plays. And then he's just getting up a 3rd base on the way, getting up a Forge, getting up a Robo Bay. So probably going to be going into that Phoenix Colossus style. This poor Marine runs into the Adept. He's going to die, no doubt about that. In comes the drop. The Phoenix of Neeb are on patrol, so this will be spotted. The Widow Mines are going to start unloading in the natural. Just unload as quick as possible. Kelazhur actually has 2 of his Widow Mines picked up. One of the mines gets 5 kills, but the other 2 are shut down, so great lifts from Neeb, really reducing the amount of damage that drop got done. If both those Widow Mines got off, or all 3 of those Widow Mines got off, that could have been game-ending damage. So, a good defense from Neeb. I guess he just needed one of the Phoenix not to lift, so then he could basically actually kill the other 2 Widow Mines. Kelazhur, though, of course, will be happy to have that Drilling Claws. Drilling Claws never really loses its effect. You can continuously Widow Mine drop against Protoss. Neeb, though, seems to be playing quite a good game. He's getting up that 3rd base, getting it saturated. He's getting his +1 Colossus on the way. Widow Mine drop going to be heading towards the natural. There's quite a few units, but it looks like Kelazhur going to go for it anyway. The Mad Lad burrows the mines extra quick. Looks like one of them's going to get off it. Oh no, it actually got picked off. I was so primed and ready for that shot to go, but I didn't even see that observer. So the Widow Mine does get killed before that shot gets off. That's really good for Neeb. He's shut down most of these drops with relative ease. And yeah, really good play from Neeb. Kelazhur's opening not getting enough damage done. Kelazhur, though, will be securing his 3rd base, roughly at the 7-minute mark, so not super quick, not super late for the Terran. Terran, the race that gets the 3rd base the latest, because you don't want to leave yourself too vulnerable. Lots of extra barracks on the way for Kelazhur, so he's going up to 7 racks off 3 base, so going to be playing a very bio-heavy style. I really don't mind this when you're playing against Mass Phoenix, as Phoenix don't do too well against Mass Bio. However, on the other hand, Neeb's making Colossus, which will help deal with that. He's getting his +1, and interestingly enough, he's getting up a Fleet Beacon and an extra Stargate. So I'm wondering what this is going to be for. This is quite curious. Yeah, I mean, Neeb, is he going to keep making Phoenix and just rely on them for his anti-air? Is he going to try and make Carriers or Tempest? I'm really unsure what he's going to go for. For now, though, Neeb does have to play a bit of the defensive game. Another drop going to be coming in for Kelazhur. It's boosting towards the natural. There is tons of Phoenix for Neeb, though, so this drop shouldn't get anything done. Kelazhur going to try and unload those mines. Neeb picks them all up. Expertly done by the Protoss player. Kelazhur is going to try and hit the 3rd base of Neeb, but with the cannons, the shield batteries, I think he should be fine. Neeb was wanting to secure up a 4th base, so that'll be delayed a little bit, but he will start getting that up. He's got lots of Phoenix to help out. He does have to be careful, though, because there is a chance that the Protoss could pounce on Neeb, seeing as how he's spreading himself out to take that 4th base. Kelazhur is going to throw up a Ghost Academy. He's just continuously producing bio, while Neeb is going into that Phoenix Disruptor composition. A very unique composition, not one that we see too often. I mean, it's not unheard of, Phoenix Colossus, but for a player as high profile as Neeb to do it, it's a little bit uncommon. There's that Phoenix attack range upgrade coming in, Antian Pulse Crystals. It's like Phoenix are going to eat some Widow Mines, which is a little bit painful. Costs Neeb 2 Phoenix. He's going to pick up 3 of those Widow Mines because Kelazhur actually didn't just leave them burrowed. They might have lived if he left them burrowed, which is a little bit odd because, of course, they're cloaked. Kelazhur pushing in towards the 4th base. Neeb, the Colossus, though, will be more than enough to zone this away. And so far, it looks like this game is going to be heading Neeb's way. There's no 4th base on the way for Kelazhur, so he's going to be pressured to try and make some damage happen. His supply isn't in that much of a lead. He doesn't have a ton going for him. He's making Ghosts, which will be good for countering the Phoenix. Good just in general versus Protoss, particularly if he gets the enhanced Shockwave, but he's not, which I think is a little bit odd, as that upgrade does help so much. But Neeb is also getting out Disruptors, which don't actually have a definitive hard counter from the Terran. Kelazhur can EMP them, but there's still a chance we'll get critical shots off. And oh, look at this! Neeb realizing there's not enough anti-air in the army of Kelazhur, and now so many Marauders are going to be getting lifted up. Neeb is just shutting down Kelazhur. We see Kelazhur, he's trying to poke and prod with ghosts, but I don't think there's no hope for Kelazhur to break this position. Neeb is floating quite a bank, but he's even going to start making carriers, which is mental. 2 extra Stargates on the way, 4 Stargates in all. Neeb has the air control with the Phoenix still. He's got the Colossus on the ground. He's got a very good mineral count, so you can just throw up cannons for days. I'd like to see him maybe get charged just in case he needs it. But either way, I'm really liking the way that Neeb is playing this game. Kelazhur is in a world of trouble, if I have to say so. That 4th base isn't very quick. Enhanced Shockwave is on the way, yes. But Kelazhur is also kind of foregoing armor upgrades, which is quite interesting. Not getting +2 armor, so he's going to be 3-1, a little bit lopsided in his upgrades. He's getting up an extra barracks, but I don't know how Kelazhur is going to bring down Neeb. I know there's always a chance for Terran to, say, get a drop-off or pounce on the Protoss at the perfect moment, but Neeb's using Stasis Wards, he's got Disruptors, going to have lots of static defense up, and he's already getting towards a 5th base, which is just mental. Neeb making 4 carriers at a time is going to have a strong, strong force. So many cannons are there at the 5th base for the Protoss. Kelazhur would need, like, his whole army to break this location. Just the cannons alone. Like, 2 medivacs full of units are not enough to actually bring down all these cannons. Kelazhur's going to charge in, but look at this. These cannons are doing all right for themselves. I mean, Kelazhur will get them if Neeb just forgoes them, but look at this. Yeah, there's so many cannons, they will indeed force Kelazhur back by themselves. Good job, cannons. Widowmines are going to get shots off on Neeb's army. Neeb even splits against them pretty well. It's like a Phoenix takes a shot, a Sentry dies. Kelazhur does end up pushing towards the 5th base, but with the carriers in the air, I'm not sure what he can do. A Disruptor's going to toss out a Nova. Kelazhur has to retreat. That Disruptor giving Kelazhur pause, and the Terran player, while he's maxed out, his army just pales in comparison to what Neeb has. More carriers on the way. The Ghost can get EMPs, but I'm so worried for Kelazhur as this game goes on. He's going to need something good, and oh, that Disruptor could get another shot off maybe in a second. It does wander forward, a bit of a mistake from Neeb, but in the end, it doesn't really matter. There's so many Phoenix in the sky. The Ghosts will go down, the Marines will go down, the Carriers will force us back, the Medivac's dead, a handful of units survive. Like, this is just amazing how Neeb is playing. He's really just knocking Kelazhur about and making the Terrans seem hopeless, to be frank. There is nothing that Kelazhur has done to really get a move off against Neeb. Looks like he is attacking into this location. Neeb not really paying too much attention to defending this at the minute, but there in comes his army, which will force the Terran Bio back because it can't contend with Colossus, Disruptor, Phoenix, all sorts of stuff like that. So Kelazhur having to back off home. We see a drop heading towards the 4th base of Neeb. Looks like Kelazhur might actually get this. So Neeb not splitting his army appropriately, it would seem. Kelazhur trying to pick off some Colossus and Disruptors. Looks like he trades out, which I guess is alright as long as you're trading out okay. It's better than just sitting back for Kelazhur. But now this game's looking pretty good. Neeb's going to be pushing in towards Kelazhur's base, potentially. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy this match of StarCraft 2, slap that like button. Let's try and hit 100 likes on this. I'm trying to get that out quickly, as this battle could be heating up. Disruptor shot getting tossed out. Kelazhur did see Neeb's army a little bit weak for a second, and we are actually going to see Neeb maybe have to retreat. He's vulnerable to a surround, and surrounds is one of the best ways for Terran to deal with Disruptors. Widowmines dealing a bit of friendly fire. Kelazhur is being forced back on this front, though. The Marines, the Ghosts doing what they can, but the Disruptors, there we see, they don't care about getting EMP'd at all. They'll still toss out a Nova, no problem. Kelazhur loads into Medivacs, which is very risky when there's Phoenix about. He's going to boost towards his natural. Looks like he will get these units here, but man, this is not looking good for Kelazhur. He's in such a tough position. Neeb's going to right-click on this planetary fortress, pick that off. Kelazhur did have a 5th base getting up at least, so his economy won't be shut down too hard, and he is going to cancel Neeb's 5th base once more. So Kelazhur isn't out of this just yet. I still think he's in a very tough spot to try and deal with the actual army of Neeb. when it comes down to it. But there's always a chance. Kelazhur does have to be careful, though. Neeb is in hot pursuit of this army. Carriers and Colossus aren't super quick, but they can certainly pin this army. We even see the Phoenix coming in. They'll lend a hand once again, most likely, to this. The Bio's just having to run away. These boys may need to stim away from the Protoss army. Neeb does go out a little far, it would seem, though, as this is going to allow Kelazhur to push into Neeb's natural. Marauders and Ghosts pushing in. The cannons of Neeb are going to get picked off. Looks like a recall gets used by Neeb to pull in some of his army, but this isn't that much. A Disruptor gets focused down, but oh, it looks like the Widow Mines, the friendly fire, are enough to shut down that Bioforce of Kelazhur and actually cleans it up completely. Kelazhur just down on supply, whereas Neeb, he's maxed out. He's not taking any critical losses, and he is still playing a very good game as that carrier count proceeds to rise. Currently 13 carriers, more disruptors on the way. I'm loving this game we're seeing from Neeb. Kelazhur is putting up a fight, but man, this is looking really good for the Protoss. The army of Kelazhur hanging out at the third base. I mean, there's so many carriers. They will really start to shred this bio up. So Kelazhur going to have to get out of there. There's even a High Templar on the ground as Psystorm begins researching. Like, Kelazhur can't take on Neeb's army in a head-on engagement, and he's continuing to hit everywhere. But that only works for so long. There's a ton of Ghosts here, but Ghosts aren't anti-Colossus. Ghosts, I mean, they're okay versus Interceptors and Carriers, particularly with their EMP, but Kelazhur's got to get out of here. He does play a pretty sick bait to get a few Widowmine shots on the carriers of Neeb, even killing off some of those units. Now Vikings have started to be produced from Kelazhur, but I still feel there's simply too much here for Neeb. There's Disruptors on the ground. They're going to want to toss out a Nova. Neeb not paying attention. Could lose those Disruptors. Neither of them tossed out a Nova, so Kelazhur is pushing forward. Could this be his moment? The rest of the carriers coming in, and there we go. There's the whole fleet. Kelazhur is going to get a nice fight, though. Gets a couple of pickoffs. If he gets this Nexus, that would be a nice prize as he leaves, but Neeb will force Kelazhur away too quickly. Widowmine's hitting Interceptors, but Kelazhur, if he stands and takes this fight, he will die. It was a cool move from Kelazhur. He cleared a lot of the cannons and such, but he did fail to get the Nexus. Of course, though, Kelazhur hitting all over the place says, right, you're chasing me down with your carrier army, which is tough to split up, so I'm going to hit you in yet another location. There's lots of cannons to defend this, but not enough against 3-2 bio that Kelazhur has, so he can EMP the cannons, pick those off even quicker. This may force a recall from Neeb. Neeb looks like he's going to push into Kelazhur to just try and get counter damage done, but it is a base for a base, not bad for Kelazhur. He's kind of just dragging Neeb around. He's got a lot of Widow Mines that are burrowed. Disruptor, though, oh, does spot the Widow Mines, picks those off. That is huge for Neeb. Kelazhur is going to be looking for a big surround on this army, or he may just have to, once again, run out onto the map and try and bait Neeb, or pull Neeb apart. Kelazhur losing another base definitely did hurt him, but he is building another in the bottom left, so he's keeping his economy going to an okay degree. Oracle gets a revelation on the Terran force. There's a few Vikings out now for Kelazhur, but they will not do anything against these carriers. Carriers are pretty good against Vikings in the first place, and when Neeb's carriers are going to be 3-3 upgrades soon, that is not what Kelazhur wants to deal with. Both players are maxed out. We could be seeing a big fight. I will say Neeb's composition has fallen off a little bit, but he does have enough High Templar. He's got enough AoE in his force to deal with the Terran bio. Kelazhur's going to stim forward. The Mad Lad's going to go for it, but there's Disruptors. There's High Templar in the mix of this. He's going for the fight. There's so many Marines on the ground. They're trying to shred all the Interceptors. Widowmine's wandering forward. The Marines are standing against the Interceptors, but not well enough. Neeb does end up winning out. Kelazhur EMP'd all the High Templar. He took out the Disruptors, but in the end, he didn't have enough anti-air, and Neeb was able to take the match. Well done by the Protoss player, just building up to that big army and able to take it. Like, let's just rewind that once more. Yeah, Kelazhur, he had 16 Marauders. You can't fight 18 carriers with 38 Marines. The Ghosts did good, but the Widow Mines didn't do anything. And if all these Marauders were Marines, I'd say Kelazhur maybe could have taken that. But the way Interceptors scale, it's just that if you don't have enough Marines, you just lose the fight horribly. And yeah, Neeb plays the way that he wanted to play. Very well done by the Protoss player, doing what he could. And yeah, a great TvP. Really unique. I enjoyed casting this one. I said it at the last minute, but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's try and hit 100 likes on this video if you did enjoy it. Slap that like button. Join the channel by subscribing and press that bell icon to get notified whenever I put up a new video. I commentate StarCraft 2 every day. If you want to hang out, join the Discord, follow me on Twitter to keep up to date. I'll see you next time. This has been LaughNgamez.